Val, Queen Dancing Lawyer. Guys, go ahead and share. You know I don't come live all the time. And I'm sure you have friends and people who may need questions asked. Or maybe you've watched one of my lives before and you had a question and you didn't get to come live to ask your question. Or and maybe you just even have a question on a previous live that you've watched or something you've seen us posting about. Um, so go ahead and invite your friends now. Now would be that time, okay? Now would be that time to go ahead and invite your friends because it's going to be just an awesome, it promises to be an awesome live today, all right? Real quick, my name is Val Queen Dancing Lawyer because we specialize in a lot of our cases, although that's not the only cases we do, all right? And also because I dance a lot, all right? Or I used to dance a lot, and that's how uh, I became known really all over the country, either as Dancing Lawyer or Vow Queen. All right. We do lots and lots of cases. We do vow cases for those who are in a problematic or bad or toxic or even all the way to abusive marriage. We also do the opposite case. We also do adjustment of status to marriage for those in a lovey-dovey, awesome relationship. So if you listen to me all the time and you're wondering, is that all she does? That's not all we do. We don't only do vow. We also do adjustment of status to marriage for people, whose spouses are filing for them. So if you're in a great, awesome marriage and your spouse is petitioning for you, we also do that. All right. Then we also do asylum cases. Asylum for people who have fled their country because of something they cannot easily change about themselves or because of unrest. So those are usually people like people who have fled because of female genital mutilation, because of their sexual orientation, people who have fled because of something like their political opinion, Uh, Best examples are people who come from Sudan, Rwanda, the famous Rwanda war right now. And right now, people who are coming from the Gaza Strip with the whole Israeli conflict, whether they're Palestinian or Israeli, any of those could come in and easily win an asylum case. So for those of us who did not come from a country where there's like a history of civil unrest, you could easily also file for asylum and win based on things again like female genital mutilation, based on things like forced marriage, based on things like sexual orientation, which we do all these cases that I've just mentioned. Okay, so we do asylum, we do adjustment of status to marriage cases, and then also we do VAWA cases for those who are in a problematic, extremely, all the way to extremely toxic relationship. And the plethora, I've always explained, the plethora of things that could qualify you for VAWA is really huge. Like you could qualify for VAWA simply because you and your spouse are always arguing, or simply because you're married to a spouse who's always manipulating you to do things for him or for her, all the way to more extreme things like a spouse throwing you out of the house, like a spouse cheating on you right in front of you, like a spouse making important decisions without your consent, like a spouse having an HIV or STD or something that's detrimental to you, and you find out after the marriage, right? Like a spouse hiding a big secret, like them having HIV and STD, or them having a physical ailment, or even a mental disorder without telling you, or even them hiding the fact that they're bisexual or gay or lesbian and they didn't tell you ahead of time. Okay. So it could be a plethora of things that could qualify you for VAWA. And again, I always say, please listen to me carefully. I always say, because I get this question, people ask me this question all the time. You do not qualify for VAWA just because your spouse refused to petition for you. Get that very clear, very straight. America is the land of the free. Your spouse has a right to refuse not to file for you. So that in its own does not qualify you for VAWA, and I hope I'm speaking loud and clear. Okay. The fact that your spouse refused to petition for you does not in itself qualify you for VAWA. It's got to be more than that. There's got to be more issues in your marriage. There's got to be an intent by your spouse to keep you down, to keep you under, an intent by your spouse to take advantage of your immigration status and keep you at a place where you always depend on him or her those kinds of things will qualify for VAWA. But your spouse literally refusing to petition for you in its own does not qualify for VAWA. It's got to be more. It's got to be an intent by your spouse to keep you under, to keep you dependent on him or her, or in other words, an intent by your spouse to take advantage of your immigration status. That's what we're looking for in a VAWA case. All right, and your spouse refusing to petition for you alone does not qualify for VAWA. Now, to the point of this live, filing fees are going up at least 25% by April 1st. So I know you've heard this even probably from other immigration lawyers over the last couple of months. It is truly coming up now. So if you're my client or if you're someone else's client and you've been dragging your feet, now is the time to get your application filed. They are going up by at least 25%. So right now, the filing fees for most applications are close to are more than $1,000. So after April 1st, we're looking for they may be up to about $2,000, in other words, or more. So you see how it's a really big hike. So more than 25% is a really big hike. And I think for adjustment of status, I'm pretty sure they're going up. I can't remember the exact rate. I think it's by 26 or 27%. They're going up by at least 26 or 27% for adjustment of status. So right now, I think adjustment of status to marriage filing fees are like $1,760. Add 25% to that. That'll tell you how much. 26 or 27% to that. That'll tell you how much they'll cost around April 1st. So now is the time to get your application filed. Another a positive something that should positively push you to file your application right now is also the fact that I've been telling you right now we're getting a lot of our interviews waived. So right now really is your best time to file. So filing fees are going up by April 1st. And then also right now, interviews are being waived. For VAWA, they're being waived. For adjustment of status, they're being waived. Asylum, barely ever. I've never seen an asylum case waived. At least none of my asylum interviews have ever been waived. So I don't know. I don't think they're doing that for asylum. So just adjustment of status to marriage, adjustment of status to a parent, adjustment of status to a child, adjustment of status to VAWA, all these that I just named, these 4 types of cases, they are seriously waiving interviews. So whether you want to use the positive or the negative to push you to file to file now is definitely the best time to file. Okay, so whether you just want to save money and not have to pay an additional 26% or 27% in filing fees come April 1st, you should file. Or whether you want to depend on the fact that like I've told you, and I'm sure you've heard from many of the lawyers right now, immigration is waiving so many interviews. Like we've gotten so many more green cards lately this past few months, simply because immigration is waiving interviews. So however you want to look at it, now would be that time. Now would be that time to get your application filed. Okay, please make sure you get that application filed now. Get that application filed now. Okay. All right. All right. Now, I've also now want to finally talk about the other topic I wanted to discuss, which is fraudulent documents. If you've been reading our captions lately, I've been saying that our rate here, at least at Losses of Mafula at VAWA Queen Team, our rate of winning VAWA cases is 99.5%. And I've only lost 3 VAWA cases today. And those 3 VAWA cases, guess what? Were because of fraudulent divorce certificates. So I always want to bring this up to you again. Right now, if you know you are divorced in Nigeria, and you're not sure if your divorce certificate was valid, please go and check now. Please get a lawyer in Nigeria to check that out now. Do not wait. Now is the time for you to find out, is that divorce certificate really, really valid? Please find out. Please. Okay. Now will be that time. All right. Now would be that time. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so now let me start taking some live questions. Do you have any questions on that? All right, so I've discussed filing fees going up. I've discussed the fact that interviews are being waived like crazy right now. So whether you want to file because interviews are being waived like crazy right now, and people are getting green cards without interviews, or whether you want to file right now because filing fees are going up on April 1st. Either way, either one of these two should really push you to know that, or should really push you to know, all right, now it's time. The last time, by the way, you should know filing fees went up so that you know this is a real true thing. It was 4 years ago. So just about every couple of years they'll go up, and even that time it was a huge increase. I can't remember even exactly how much it was before that for adjustment of status, but I don't know. It was just I know it was a significant increase back then. I think it was about 40% last time. Something similar to this now. So, but this time around it's 25% increase, and then I imagine it's going to be here probably for another. It'll be at this rate at least for 25, 26%, or even 27% rate on most cases increase on April 1st. And I imagine it's going to stay there for another few years, and then they'll increase it again. So the moral of the story is, like, for instance, for people who like me who adjusted many, many years ago, I can guarantee you for a fact that we didn't pay what people are paying right now to adjust their status, right? I mean, people who adjusted their status in the 90s probably would be just so shocked at how much the filing fees cost right now. And so the same for people who adjusted their status 4 years ago, 3 years ago, would be shocked to know what people in 2024 are going to be filing to adjust their status. So moral of the story, now is the time to file. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me start answering some questions live. If you want to answer your questions live, please come in, madam. Can you help me push down these things? All right. Okay, guys. Now let me start taking some questions live. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm great. I have a question for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He said if he's an asylumist, like he had an asylum,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to switch to marry, like, is it possible
to switch to marriage? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I guess the only thing I would need to know is on what basis you use to file your asylum case. Did the person say they were gay or something?
You said what?
What's the basis of the asylum application? Did the person say they were gay or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to? He said he's gonna, like,
call me.
Contact, like, yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good one. All right. Let's take the next two live questions. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hi, you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you, basically, what if you had put in your paperwork for both you and your child by marriage, but basically I got my social and my green my social and my work permit already from last year, 2023, but I haven't got anything from my daughters yet. How does that go?
Okay, so you let me get the question. Let me just make sure I got the question right. You filed for adjustment of status to marriage, and you added your daughter on it. Thank you, madam. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, now you added your children on it. You got your work permit and travel permit. They have it.
Yes.
So I don't know. That's an issue you'd have to take up with your lawyer, or maybe if you're the one who did it, maybe you didn't file for them.
The only thing I got was just like my work permit and my social, nothing else.
Well, did you file for your children's work permit as well?
No, I get nothing from my daughter, just my work permit for myself.
I got that part, but did you file for them? Did you? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I filed for her also too. But when I was getting the paperwork, when they were sending back stuff to let me know that they received stuff and like that, I saw paper with her name and stuff on it, and to create and stuff like that. But it's been from 2000, like May 2023, but I haven't seen anything for her or anything. I haven't heard back anything from them for myself or anything.
I would call them and find out, but my hunch is that you did something wrong, especially if you did yourself. Maybe you did something wrong on the applications. That's just what I think.
Maybe I didn't what?
Maybe you did something wrong. That's my hunch. But call them and find out. They'll tell you. Call them and ask some questions. Call USCIS.
Oh, I could call them.
Yeah. Do you have a lawyer? Or have your lawyer call?
No, I never went, like, I never did to a lawyer, like.
So my suspicion is you did something wrong. Or you didn't file for their work permit. And that's my...
No, she's a minor.
Okay. So they wouldn't get anything, madam. If you didn't file for them, they don't get it. They don't. If you didn't file for them for a work permit, they don't just automatically get one. You have to file.
No, it's not the work permit I'm talking about. Like, basically, like a social for her, anything like that. That's what I was.
You can't get a social without applying for a work permit.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bye-bye.
Hi, Attorney Wafula. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Okay, so my cousin got approved her I-130, and now it's been 5 months, and she's trying to put in her I-485, what's it called? But now the problem is the part where you have to put the...
Hello? Crap. Looks like her phone froze. So, sorry, madam. Taking you off. 1, 2. I'm going to count to 5. If you're still frozen when I get to 5, taking you off. 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Hello?
Yes, madam. I can hear you.
Okay. So she wants to put in a I-485, but she had previous traffic tickets, like speeding and something else. I don't know what else. So, but she doesn't remember where all that happened. So she has no recollection of how she got, where she got the ticket or how to get that information. So how does she fill that part in the I-485?
Well, that's very simple. Wherever she's living at, just go to the court downtown, wherever you're living at. They're going to have a copy. Wherever she's living at. Yeah, wherever she's lived at, she just needs to go to the court there, the civil court, not the criminal court. Ask for a copy of all her traffic tickets.
To the I-485. Thank you, attorney. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, on that point, real quick, I want to remind people I did an awesome live last week talking about criminal. I think it was last week, I believe. I was talking about criminal charges and things that could get in the way. A traffic ticket is not a problem, by the way. But that just reminds me, we talked about things, crimes that society just does not like. And you want to stay away from getting any charges or convictions for crimes society dislikes. Those are crimes that are called crimes of moral turpitude. A crime of moral turpitude is something that society just dislikes. If a person in society heard that you had this charge or conviction, they would judge you. They would misjudge you. They wouldn't like you. And these are crimes or charges such as rape, of course, murder. These are crimes against moral turpitude. Tax evasion, tax fraud. Okay. Resisting arrest. That's one that you wouldn't think about. But yeah, that's also considered a crime against moral turpitude. Resisting arrest. Multiple DUIs or multiple drug charges can be considered crimes of moral turpitude. And then I'm just naming the ones that I've seen now a lot, like in my practice with the clients I've had. And then wire fraud is huge in the Nigerian community. Wire fraud. More and more of my clients are getting picked up for wire fraud. So these are things you really want to stay away from getting a money laundering charge or money laundering conviction, please stay away. uh, all these check cashing schemes, things like those, these are considered crimes of moral turpitude that society dislikes. And if immigration sees that on your record, unless it's been dismissed, it's really probably going to stand in the way of you getting a green card, okay? So, money laundering, rape charges, and of course, last week we also discussed domestic violence charges. And I said domestic violence is one of those things that it's hard to stay away from if you're in a toxic marriage. If you're in a vow abuse type of marriage, it's kind of hard to evade a domestic violence charge. And I told you guys last week that if you're in a type of relationship that's always getting violent, you really want to start practicing leave the house. Don't let it get to a point where your U.S. citizen spouse calls the cops on you, because now it's your word against hers, it's your word against his. And most times they do believe the U.S. citizen spouse, whether they are male or female. So for domestic violence, if you know you're in a toxic marriage and it's you guys always have violent or very like big arguments, and especially if your spouse is already warned that she's gonna call the cops on you one day, or warned that he's gonna call the cops on you one day, you really want to get out the house. I even talked about this last week and said that I've even seen a situation where it was the immigrant that called the cops on the U.S. citizen spouse because the U.S. citizen spouse hit him or hit her or whatever. But then when the police came, the U.S. citizen spouse went and had gone and put marks on her body, all right, or his body, and then they flip it around and say it was you that hit them. So, moral of the story is once your relationship starts to get to a certain place, yeah, you don't want to think about leaving the house temporarily, or I would just say, then it may be time to think about it, because a domestic violence charge also, conviction, sorry, once it's a conviction, that is a crime against a moral turpitude. Immigration does not like that. Society does not like that. They will look at you like you're guilty, and it may stand in the way of you getting a green card if we can't waive it, if we cannot waive it. Finally, another crime against moral turpitude that you should always remember is putting on an application that you're a U.S. citizen when you're not, in order to get a job. You lie on a work application that you're a green card holder or you're a U.S. citizen in order to get a job when you know you're not. These are things you really want to stay away from, and this is really a big problem with my Kenyan clients. Sorry, not Nigerian, but with my Kenyan clients. So, if you're listening to me and you're Kenyan and you know people who do this, you don't go and do it, because it could really. I know people who couldn't get a green card because they have that on their record, and immigration knows that you have lied on an application, on a job application before, that you're a U.S. citizen when you weren't, and they found out when you were filing for adjustment of status, and there's no waiver for that, and so now this person has no green card. Or I even know Kenyans who already have a green card but can't get citizenship because they have a prior record of lying on an application stating that they're a U.S. citizen in order to work when they're not. And I know times are tough, and I know why people do it. I certainly understand, but the government is not going to understand that. Okay, so that's my spiel on crimes of moral turpitude. If you need more information, if I've hit a point, if I've discussed something that you think, oh man, maybe I want to get that checked out, make sure you call a lawyer, get some advice on that. Always, like I always say, make sure before you file anything as an immigrant, you should really discuss it with an immigration lawyer so you know where you stand. Okay.
Hey,
hello.
Thank you for bringing me in.
No problem. How are you doing?
Sometimes last year we kind of talked about when I applied with Nigerian divorce. The lawyer I wanted to use told me it is a fake divorce.
Okay.
Told me to go get another divorce. So I spoke with my ex-wife. They sent me a customary court divorce.
Okay.
Then I put the stupid lawyer put in both the fake divorce and the customary divorce together on the application.
Okay.
So when we put it in, they finally denied my application because I couldn't get a co-sponsor So last year, I remarried my wife, did a new divorce, and applied again. I just got my social and my advance parole today.
Wait, so you did a new divorce separate from the one you said you got last time?
Yes. Now I have like 3 divorces, 2 from Nigeria, 1 from America. So what we did was we now withdrew the first application.
Okay.
After withdrawing the first application, the lady that interviewed her and my wife said that she cannot overlook the fact that there's already a fake divorce. So she asked that we should file a 601 waiver.
Right on.
So my question is, how many % chance do I have that I might get approved or denied?
To be honest with you, I think you need a consultation, okay? Because there's some facts I still want to get right. To be honest with you. I think you need a consultation, schedule a consultation, because I still want to wrap my head around the 3 divorce certificates that you have, why you had them, and how to go about that. Schedule a consultation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Hello?
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
Good.
I'm one of your clients, and I thank you for everything you've been doing for us.
Okay.
And I just have one question.
Okay.
And would you advise somebody who got a travel document through VAWA to go to the home country or travel abroad while the I-360 is still pending?
Yes, absolutely. I always say, I don't know why other lawyers advise for you not to travel in your travel permit, but here I tell my clients, we get your travel permit so you can use it. It's not for you to keep and just say, oh, I can travel anywhere I want to go to, but you just keep it in your pocket. It is meant to be used. As long as you don't have any criminal or fraud issues, and as long as you're not in deportation proceedings. If you're my client, most people just send us a message and ask, and we'll check these things for you and give you us an official opinion, okay?
Even though the client has an illegal entry to USA?
No. For you, stay. I wouldn't advise, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Let me see if I can take this person out so we have more. And then I'm going to add another person. Hello, madam.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, so when you filed for VAWA, and they've asked you before, like when you were married, you were asked if your baby daddy refused to give a paternity test for the child, and it caused more chaos and all that. So you finally filed for VAWA. And again, the issue right now, while I filed for the VAWA, and they returned the application for the green card or whatever, they cancelled it. I don't know which of them was, but the VAWA, I sent in the VAWA, and he doesn't want to do the paternity test. He doesn't want anything to do with that. But he doesn't know I filed for VAWA already. Do you still have chances? Because now they want you to do a paternity test and you decided to file for VAWA, but now he doesn't want to do that.
Again, VAWA has nothing to. I don't know whose background is loud. I'm gonna take one person out. It's so loud. Madam, what's your name on IG so I can take out this? Okay, it's better. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, so VAWA has nothing to do with who's the paternity, whether you have a child with the person or not. VAWA again focuses on whether your spouse was whether he mistreated you or abused you because of your immigration status. That's all you need to prove for VAWA. Of course, it would help if you could show you have a child together, but it's not necessary. To answer your question, you can still win without that.
Oh, okay.
But of course, it would be good if you could have that.
Oh, because he doesn't want to do that. So I can't force him, and he doesn't know I filed for VAWA.
Okay, madam, I think I've answered your question. I don't know what else. Now, is there another question? I can't even answer another question. If you have more questions, call and schedule a consultation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, madam. Hello? Hello, madam.
Hi.
How are you doing?
So, I don't have nothing to do with VAWA.
Okay.
Asking more of, so I had a condition on my green card. I had a 2-year condition.
Okay.
And I have passed the 90-day because it was the issue of my mail getting lost in the mail. And I guess there's a new fee that has been posted now for, because my green card did not expire till April 27th.
Okay. So you had applied to renew your green card. I want to get it right.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Say that again.
You had applied to renew your green card?
Yes, I applied to renew my green card, the I-715 or I-51.
To get your 10-year green card. That's not to renew. Okay, you applied to remove conditions.
Off of it.
Okay. Then you got your receipt notices, your automatic extensions, right?
Say that again.
Then you got your automatic extensions, right?
My medical extension? Have I gotten that?
You got an automatic extension extending your conditional status until they give you a 10-year green card, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the question now?
Now is, do I need to file I-485 again?
No, 485 was back then. You filed a 485 before you got your 2-year conditional green card. So no. The only thing you can file going forward is an I-751, which you've already done.
I passed the 90 days. So whatever I submitted is sent.
Yes. So you just need to explain why you're filing late. I've done many lives on this one, and I can help you. Give us a call, okay? You just need to explain why you're late. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going in and out. Okay. That's why
you just need to explain why you're filing late.
Oh, I got to explain why I'm filing late?
Correct. And still file an I-751, okay, madam?
All right.
And we can help you if you need our help. Give us a call, all right? We've done that before.
All right, no problem. Appreciate it.
Thank you, madam. Bye-bye. All the best. But you better move fast, madam. You don't have time.
All right, I will.
Okay, I want to answer some questions on Facebook. Oh, that's so sweet. You're beautiful and blessing to many. God bless you. Oh, that's so sweet. So sweet. Approximately how long does it take to get prima facie and work permit? Some things I don't really like discussing on a live video, and I will make you schedule postation. So, but for work permits right now are taking just about 6 to 10 months, less or more. It could take less than 6 to 10 months. It could take more than 6 to 10 months, but on average, you should wait at least 6 months, at the very least 6 months. And work permits have been taking longer and longer again, which is why immigration now, these days, when they issue you a work permit receipt notice, they'll put on there that you can work for an additional 540 days using that receipt notice if your work permit has already expired. And they give you that automatic extension of 540 days to use your work permit, your expired work permits, and to present that to your employer using your receipt notice, because they know that it's taking them longer and longer to issue these work permits. So work permits right now are taking 6 to 10 months. They are taking quite a long time sometimes. But once you finally get it, the good thing is it's for 10 years. And also the other good thing is that your receipt notices have an automatic extension on them. All right, so I've got to run. Let me do one more question. Okay, there's no more questions. No more people asking to ask a question live. So I think I've got to run. We'll leave it there. So guys, if you want to come live again, do join. And if you want to come and ask your question live, make sure you are on Instagram, because I know some people join me live on YouTube or something like that. But if you're wondering how you can ask your question live, and that's actually my preferred method. Most times I never answer written questions. I always answer only live questions. It's just my forte. That's just how this show works. If you'd like to ask your question, make sure you jump on IG next time. Sir, I just said I don't answer written questions. Someone just said I sent you a question. Then yeah, probably won't get answered. If you want me to answer your question, come live, okay? All right, so if you'd like me to answer your question, join live. join directly live on IG, and most people even put their phone up or something. You don't have to show your face; you can figure it out. And yeah, so we never show your face. We'll never expose you, right? If that's what you're worried about, all right. And even when we cut up our lives, we always take out your face. So yeah, you'll be good. All right. Now, I've just in summary, I discussed so many things today. I discussed crimes against moral turpitude, crimes you want to stay away from, rape, murder, domestic violence, crimes you want to flee like a plague. You definitely want to flee money laundering, flee money laundering, cashing fake check schemes, flee them like a plague. Flee them like a plague, okay? I mean, these are things that have gone in the way of people getting their green cards. And by the way, it usually happens. I've just been doing this so many. It's happened quite some time, so many times. I mean, quite a few times, not so many. Quite a few times to me, where we're about to get your green card, and then the FBI comes and scoops you up for money laundering. It is just the worst timing ever. Don't be that person, please. Don't be that person that the FBI comes and gets after your I-360 has already been approved, after we've already sent in your medical exam, and all we're waiting on is your green card. Don't be that person that the FBI comes and gets right before you're about to get your green card. Don't be that person. Flee. You know how the Bible says, flee sexual immorality. As a lawyer, I'm going to say, flee money laundering like a plague. Flee domestic violence charges and crimes like a plague. Flee them. Flee rape. Flee statutory rape. Usually statutory rape. So you find yourself being charged with sleeping with a minor. Flee, especially for the guys. Flee any statutory rape charges or convictions. It just doesn't, in the US, by the way, it's very hard to fight a statutory rape charge. It's like, how are you going to prove you didn't know the person was underage? How are you going to prove it? And usually they don't just stick those charges on you unless they've got something on you. They got something on you for you to be charged with statutory rape. Flee statutory rape like a like a plague. Flee, okay? Flee domestic violence. Flee money laundering. Flee any crime. In other words, that society would consider a faux pas. Heroin charges, name it, distribution charges. Flee. Theft. We forgot theft. Flee theft. Flee thefts. A lot of states have a petty theft exception where, like, if you're charged with something that's under $500 and that's the only theft charge you have, it could be it could be an exception. But again, flee. So I just said flee. Yeah, flee theft. Flee. Like, I mean, these are things you should be running away from like they're a plague. And they're a joke right now. But for the people who have been hindered from getting a green card because of this, it's not a joke. Flee anything like filling out an application. Kenyans, listen to me, Kenyans, flee anything like filling out an application and stating you're a U.S. citizen, you're a green card holder when you're not. Okay, these are my fellow Kenyans I'm talking to. Flee that stuff. Stop doing that stuff. So many people have been stuck and so many people have not been able to get a green card or even gotten a 10-year green card successfully. But when it comes time for you to get your citizenship, you can't get your citizenship because immigration now does a thorough check on your employment background, finds out you've been working under, in other words, a false identity. You've been working and stating you're a U.S. citizen when you're not. Flee. Absolutely flee that. Like, stop doing that, especially my Kenyans. Nigerians, stop submitting divorce certificates without getting them checked. Check them. You know where you're coming from. You know the system is not so great. Get your divorce certificate checked before you submit it. Get it checked and make sure you get a proper divorce. Stop coming and just marrying and just depending on the divorce certificate that your spouse gave you. Don't depend on that. Like, no, you submit a divorce certificate that you got. You do it. Don't depend on your spouse. Many people find themselves in that situation because they listen to their spouse oh, my spouse said that this is a proper divorce. But why would your spouse give you a proper divorce certificate? They have no, you guys are no longer in love. They have no reason to give you a proper divorce certificate. Why would you even believe or depend on that? Why can't you not get your own divorce certificate? Why can't you hire your own lawyer here in America? Divorce your spouse properly before you marry. Like, take the proper steps. Don't just come here immediately marry thinking I'm divorced and you're depending on a divorce that you don't even know is valid. I don't get it. Stop doing that, my Nigerians. Stop that. It is so costly. The 3 viral cases of loss is because of situations like that. My spouse said that they filed the proper divorce certificate, and the person believes them. We get to the green card process status, and we can't overcome the fact that the divorce certificate is fraudulent. And now it's too late for us to go get a proper divorce certificate because you've already remarried. You've already married now. You've already remarried a U.S. citizen spouse. So even if we were to get a proper one here in America, it's not going to go backwards. It's like too late. There's nothing we can do about that. So I just get really passionate when I hear people, why would you depend on your spouse to get you a proper divorce certificate when you know you and your spouse are no longer good? Why? I don't get it. Why? Get you your proper divorce certificate here. Make sure you're properly divorced here in the U.S. before you marry a new person. It's just that simple. Make sure if you're Nigerian, you know the system right now is so corrupt. You know the kind of place you're coming from. And so it's to your best interest to make sure you have gotten a proper divorce certificate and you submit a proper divorce certificate, and that you have gotten that proper divorce certificate before you marry your current U.S. citizen spouse. Okay, I'm gonna stop preaching. Finally, filing fees are going up April 1st. April 1st, filing fees are going up by at least 26-27% in most applications. I put 25% on the title because it's a summary, but in reality, the adjustment of status through marriage cases are going up, I think, about 26-27%. So there you have it. So right now, so most of them are close to 2,000, and then so I think after April 1st, definitely a lot of them are going to be either right at 2,000 or over $2,000. You do the math. Okay. Right now, adjustment of status through VAWA is $1,225. Okay. What's 26-27% of that? That'll give you how much it'll be come April 1st. All right. And that's the same thing for adjustment of status through marriage. Okay. Adjustment of status through marriage filing fees right now $1,760 if you're filing for all forms. So just imagine how much they're going to be if it's an increase by at least 26-27%. All right. File that application now, guys. Love y'all. Bye. Oh, one more thing I want to discuss, guys. Let's stop immediately marrying people. People get into this trouble, especially Nigerians, with the divorce certificates because you quickly marry. It's like you're running to get that green card and you just quickly marry. Your friends tell you need to quickly marry, quickly marry. And then I see this situation a lot. You just jump from marriage to marriage like in 1 month. You divorce this one person, a month later, you already married another person. Come on now, that's too fast. Way too fast. Take your time. I've done many live videos. One of my famous live videos from like 2-3 years ago was this live that said, stop marrying immediately after. Take your time, take a breather. And by the way, if your previous U.S. citizen spouse petitioned for you divorce them, let's just throw it out there like this. And then you now immediately marry your new U.S. citizen spouse, okay, who now petitions for you. Okay, just think how that looks to immigration. Just a month ago, okay, or just a few months ago, your previous spouse had petitioned for you. You divorced the previous spouse, right? Maybe after that application was denied, you divorced that spouse. Now you marry another U.S. citizen spouse a month later. Just think how that looks. So let's start taking our time. Take your time before one marriage to another. Oh, take your time, okay? Especially if your previous spouse petitioned for you and it didn't go right. Take your time. Secondly, there's maybe other options. Look into your other options. You may not even need to remarry again. Okay, I'm talking too much. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Share. Bye. And I'll be back another time, maybe this week. All right. Yes, we take lots and lots of asylum cases. I discussed that in the beginning. We do asylum, we do adjustment of status of marriages, we do VAWA cases. Okay, bye guys. Mwah!